Hi everybody, this is Jonathan King from the ClinchReport.com and PugilPix.com. I am here at Systems Training Center with owner Marcus Kowal. Marcus, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Marcus, tell us about the gym here, some of the fighters you have. You have beasts ranging from 125 to 155 pounds, champions up and down the board. Tell us about your gym.
You know, first and foremost, it's one big family, and I think that's what the foundation of everything that we do. You know, it's not, even though we step into the cage or the ring by ourselves, it's still a team sport because you only grow when you have people to work with, right? And we're there for each other. When one guy has got to get ready for a fight, everyone is there to help. And I think that's what makes us stand out. This, you know, we don't have, what we do, Pedro Munoz, who's jiu-jitsu coach, is in the UFC. You know, we have Taryn Ware and Christos Giorgos, who's a Tachi Palace champion, knocking on the door to the UFC. But we don't have established UFC veterans per se at the gym yet, but we will get there just because of that foundation, that we're there and we're helping each other get to the top. And I think the record speaks for itself over the past year.
Now, you guys just celebrated your 1-year anniversary
Yeah.
in Hawthorne, California. You mentioned some of the fighters that you have. Inside 1 year, you may not have established veterans, but you do have, like you said, a whole bunch of them knocking on the door, which is pretty incredible growth for 1 year. What do you attribute the growth to?
Honestly, I think it's that people come in here and they feel welcomed. You know, I've been to a lot of gyms. Don't get me wrong, we're not the only ones. There's some gyms that are great. You walk in there and it's an amazing environment. But here, people feel welcome, and it's not just that we train together. We hang out outside of there. We know we're just a phone call away for each other all the time. And I think that's it. We had a lot of raw talent, and we've been lucky over the year. You know, I've traveled a lot, lived a lot of different places, been able to get other coaches and other guys to come in here and work with the guys so that they get to see different styles, different aspects. And then, you know, Ian Harris is here all the time and is always there for the guys. So we're lucky when it comes to getting people in here that have experience in certain areas. And then we have this pool of raw talent that just soaks everything up like sponges, and they're just so willing to fight. You know, if you look at Taryn Ware, I think he had 13 fights in 15 months, professional mixed martial art fights. That's unheard of.
Right. Now, you mentioned Terrion, Christos. Of course, you have John Robles and Pedro Munoz, who you also mentioned. Tell us about some of your younger fighters, some of your up-and-comers that are really looking to make some waves in the sport.
So we have Dima Gerasimov, who just fought on the RFA main card. He fought Chinso Gracie, not Gracie, but Chinso Machida, Lyoto Machida's brother. And I think, and on paper, he was an underdog. And I think even Chinso might have underestimated him a little bit because, you know, on paper, he might not have had the experience that Chinso does. But Dima is a hard worker. And I think that's another thing that we have here. We have a bunch of workhorses that are in the gym all the time and giving 110%. You know, it doesn't matter if you have a belt or don't have a belt, we all work equally. Up-and-comers, Albert Morales, who's, I still believe he's undefeated as an amateur, but he, not just that he fights like a pro, he has the mentality of a pro. He's only 23 years old, I believe, and you know, holds one amateur championship belt, and I've seen him do very well against some pros as well, and that's a future prospect for sure. And then we have, I hate to call someone a prospect when they're 19, 20 years old and doing really well as an amateur, because there's so much in life that can distract them from fighting. And you know, it's a tough sport. It could be injuries to just not having the interest of becoming a professional fighter. You know, it's a grind. So we have. We have so many guys, I don't know who to say and not to leave someone else out. But females, for example, Melanie LeCroix, anyone that saw her fight for Bama, absolutely amazing. And then we have Maria Rios. She hasn't even made her debut yet as a pro, and she would definitely make waves as well in the female mixed martial art world.
Now, you mentioned Coach Ian Harris, who's known for fight science. You yourself fought for Strikeforce, I believe, as a professional. how does the synergy that you two bring together, how does working together with another world-renowned coach, guy who's got well-known background in the sport, together, what do you guys bring to Systems?
I've known Ian Harris for a long time, since he was the coach of PKG, and before that there were another gym together with Chad George, who's also very experienced in the sport. And Ian cornered me for my debut in mixed martial arts, so I've known him for a long time, and we work very well together because we have very different styles. So I leave Ian to do whatever he does best, and I take care of what I do best. So Ian is a strategist, he's the one who does a lot of analyzing and the details, and he's there for every single guy on the team, whether pro and amateur. I'm very busy with my schedule, between Systems Training Center and Gracie Barheim and Sino that we have as well, that it's very hard for me to be there, even as much as I wish I could. It's only 24 hours in a day, unfortunately. And then I have a striking background, boxing and kickboxing. So, and marketing, and in the end of the day, we're products. We're a brand, and that's what I think I'm good at, helping the guys as well, understanding that this is, yes, it's fight, but it's also entertainment, show, and business. So teaching them about that side, and some of the guys are complaining, I'm not making the money, I don't get any sponsors. Well, you have to understand that you have to be an attraction in order to do that. So we really complement each other really well, and even though it's been a year here, we're going on probably 6-7 years together. So not as a couple.
Now we sit here, like you said, a year into it. When we come back in another year and we're sitting in the exact same spot,
yeah,
where's Systems going to be then?
I think System, like you said about the waves, I like that. We're starting to having a ripple effect, and starting to, people in Southern California on the local shows all know who we are. I think we get a lot of calls for shows just because they know that our fighters never miss weight. Our fighters always show up when they say they're going to show up. Of course, you have injuries and people that fall out, but we are very professional about it. We always communicate with the promoters and so on. So we are really getting established in Southern California. Over the next year, I think we're going to get a little bit more known, both nationally and internationally, just because I believe by the end of let's say July 2015, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more fighters out of Systems Training Center in the UFC.
Excellent. Now, every gym has, no great gym goes without having partners. Do you have any partners or business associates that you'd like to thank at this time?
I don't. I run this all by myself. That's why I'm working 100 hours a week. That's why I haven't been able to step into the cage myself over the past year, just because I'm so busy. I was supposed to fight in January for RFA as well. Last training session, I had 2 fractures on my orbital bone and 1 fracture on my nose. And since then, we took over Gracie Barheim as well. Now running 2 gyms by myself, it's a lot of work. But so business-wise per se, I don't have any partners. But the people I do want to thank are all the teammates and all the members of Systems Training Center, because we're all partners in this together. It wouldn't be possible without them. So
now, when can we expect to see you taping up your hands and strapping the gloves on again?
I was actually looking at doing it August 8th for, I can't remember the name of the show. It's up in Thousand Oaks at the Marriott. We have a few guys on that card.
Oh, the Jared Papazian show.
Jared Papazian. Jared actually teaches at Gracie Barheim and Sino. And Jared, I said, hey, you're going to be ready. I said, give me some time to see where we're at with the gyms. And I was supposed to go back home to Sweden for some vacation. I'm having a vacation. I'm not even going to be able to do that. So I hope that within the next 3 to 4 months, be able to have the gyms in the right place where, fighting is a full-time job when you're getting ready for a fight. Training 4 to 5 hours a day, and your mind is not focused on the business, it's on the fight and your opponent. So 3 to 4, 5 months, and I should be able to, and doing a test cut before that to get down to 125. 125,
wow. Well, it's always fun sitting in press row with you, but I'd much rather see you in the cage.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We are here with Systems Training Center owner Marcus Kowal. Marcus, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.